far as film goes, I have what's influenced me the most, and the two directors and producers that influenced me the most and respect the most, that would be Tarkovsky, of course, and above all the Stalker, right, which is a masterpiece of the ages, in my opinion. But almost all of Tarkovsky's films, including Solaris, right, have this very, well, for want of a better word, avant-garde, but you could call it minimalism, but also the extreme, profound poetic depths, right, and often literally poetry as part of the script, right? Like in Stalker, this includes the poetry of Tarkovsky's father, right? A very moving poem by Tarkovsky's father. And his films often they alternate, right, between black and white and color sections, right? And the Stalker is a sort of I wouldn't call it science fiction, but it's a fantasy movie that has sci-fi-like aspects to it, right? But it's really about human nature and about the whole question of belief, right, and the question of certainty and ambiguity and incertitude, right? And the movie is very subtle, so it's not in your face. It's very difficult to know whether or not the film is actually proposing a magical world, or if it's hinting that these magical experiences that the Stalker and his friends are having, just the result of illusions, right? The movie Solaris also, the remake, of course, was atrocious, right, with George Clooney. But the original one, directed by Tarkovsky, is again a profound movie. A lot of philosophical issues are raised in there, even in going into the field of epistemology. You know, how would we know if we encountered an extraterrestrial life form, for instance, that has some kind of intelligence? In the film, it's in the form of a sentient ocean. And the way this ocean tries to communicate is by creating dream images, but these dream images take on substance, right? Some type of material bodies. These people they dream of, the dead, they're dreaming of the dead, and the dead come to life. They're walking right on this ship, and so this is how this extraterrestrial life form, the sentient ocean, is communicating with them. Well, you know, if we were looking for radio signals, right, or some beings that sort of look like us, or maybe don't, but still, I mean, they're mobile, they have some way to see, hear, or receive sensory input, for instance, right? I mean, in that situation, you would completely miss it. You would finish your scientific report and move on and say, well, maybe we'll have better luck next time finding some extraterrestrial intelligence. It could be there staring at you, right, in your face. But another even more profound aspect to the Solaris is that this is certainly not an idea that I've come up with, but it's one that is in the literature, and that is Solaris is Tarkovsky's anti-2001: A Space Odyssey. Right, Arthur C. Clarke's directed by Kubrick. The 2001: A Space Odyssey is a straightforward sci-fi movie, science fiction, and it feeds into, right, this fascination with outer space, away from Earth, right, and in the depths of space, exploration of the unknown, and all of that. Tarkovsky rebels against that. Tarkovsky Solaris is a protest. It's an anti-2001: A Space Odyssey. And that's why you have these long, extended scenes in Solaris, nature scenes, right? You have Chris at the pond, for instance, at his parents' house. And he's looking at it for however many minutes it lasts. Right? These are types of scenes that most Americans can't stand. They find it boring. But he's looking at nature, and you can hear the leaves, you can hear the water, concentrating on all this. Then there's another extended scene. I don't know, what is it, 3-4 minutes, of just right a drive on a Soviet highway. What's the purpose? It's to ground the person on the earth before the drama or the scenery changes to outer space, right? So that you now are grounded in earth and you miss it. You miss it. And you're not titillated, right, with the unknown in space. You have a nostalgia for Mother Earth, right, where you're from and where you belong, right? Your origin and your destination, right, as far as life and death, right, goes. Right. And after Tarkovsky, it would have to be Orson Welles, right? There's such a great number of films one could mention, but one I would mention is, of course, the one that's based on Kafka's Parable Before the Law, right? So, which also was later incorporated by Kafka into his novel, The Trial, and so Orson Welles named this movie The Trial, and it's in black and white. An extraordinary piece of art that I think is again, like The Stalker, is a classic for the ages. Although I would put The Stalker somewhat right above Orson Welles' The Trial, but not to diminish it in any way. But those are certainly the two. Tarkovsky and Orson Welles, when it comes to film, and their sense of music, musical scores, and all this are just really superb. One thinks, right, of the use of Bach's music, right, in Tarkovsky's films, or organ music and also vocal music.